Hello, good day, everybody. My name is Odumba Ibrahim, and today we're going to be doing a CTF called Mnemonic from Tryhackme. So this CTF entails directory brute forcing of passwords, code analysis, open source intelligence, and much more like coding. So I'm going to be walking you through how I was able to complete this room. As you can see, I've already completed the room. So I'm going to be walking through my process. So first step, as always, we are going to perform our map scan. I've already done that, so I'm just going to cut out the results. So this was my flag. These are the flags I used to scan the machine when I did it. So yeah. So from the scan, you can see port 21 is open as a file transfer protocol. Port 80 is open HTTP, and port 1337, that's SSH. So SSH is in the standard port 22. So since we have a HTTP open, that means it's a website. So we can just copy his IP address and paste here. And we should get the website, yes. So we have the website and just a single text file. So it's just a single text on the page. That's nothing much. So I'm going to just perform a directory brute force to see if we can find any hidden pages. So I'm going to use a search. Let me try to search. So in order to make the video shorter, I'm going to be cutting some parts. Maybe if the scan is taking too long, I'll just cut out some parts. So since I've answered the questions, but I'm just going to walk through the process again. So how many ports are open? Scanned 3 ports. That's 1337, port 80, and port 21. And this is a flag I use for my scan. This is the flags. These are the flags I use for my scan. -SC, -SV, -A, -ON. Then there's the file name, which is scan. This ON is just to output your scan results into a file. So the file name you specify here is what it will be outputted. As you can see, I cutted the file called scan. So then this -P- is for nmap to scan all ports. Then that's all 65,535 ports. Then this -min 1000 is just specify the speed at which you scan, because normally it will take too long to scan such. Then SC is default scripts. SB is version detection. Since the research is not working, let's just make use of GoBuster since the description of the room has GoBuster in it. Let's just make use of GoBuster. I just like using the research first. No problem. So I'll probably cut out all these parts so that we can get to the main place. Okay, I'm going to use GoBuster, but I want to change my word list to medium. Okay, let's try medium. So so this is a GoBuster. That's the tool we're using to check for hidden directories on the websites. That's this website. Then we specify the website we're trying to brute force for. -W to specify the word lists we're going to be using. Then -T40 is just the speed at which we want the scan to run. So here we've gotten a directory called webmasters, so we can navigate to that directory. And it's also an empty page, so there's nothing here. So just scan it again. You understand? So just scan it again. Scan the subdirectory of all the webmasters. So after scanning the webmasters subdirectory, found one directory for admin, but there seems to be nothing on this page. Let's see if it finds another subdirectory. Okay, we're able to get another subdirectory for backups. Let's see if there is anything in backups. Okay, there's still nothing in backups. So let's scan backups also. Well, let me first try my research. Since we have a backup directory, we should be expecting like a zip file or something in this backup directory, because that's usually what we're storing. At least for CTF. CTF. Okay, so we have one file here, backups.zip. So you can pause the scan. So let's see that file now. Backups.zip to download to our system. So okay, so let's take a look at that zip file. So zip. Okay, so it's asking for a password, and we don't have any password yet. And it also has a notes.txt file in it. So we need to crack the password. We can use a tool called zip2john. Zip2john. So we're going to use the tool called zip2john, and we're going to crack the zip file's password. Right, we're going to crack the zip file's password. But this first step is just to convert this zip file into a format that John the Ripper can crack. So we're going to use John the Ripper, the tool, to crack the password itself. But with this syntax here, we're just trying to convert it to a format John the Ripper can understand or can be able to crack. So I'm basically placing the zip files hash into a file called backup.hashes. This backup.hashes can be anything you want. It can be any name you want. It doesn't have to. It can be backups.txt or whatever. So I'm going to place it in that file and use John the Ripper to crack it. Let's see if it works. Okay, so since I've already cracked it before, like I said, it's I've already done this from before and I've already cracked it, so it won't be able to crack it again. So I'll have to just do show. I'll have to just do show. That's that show. But if you want to do it by yourself, you can definitely use the syntax to crack it. So just use the syntax. This is the word list we're going to use, rocky.txt. And this is the file you saved your hash that we saved it here. So from here now you can see the password. This is it, this number here. So I'm going to copy it and then try to unzip that zip file again and place in the password this time. So we have extracted the file. So we see the into backups and realize there should be a text file here. Yeah. Notes.txt. So we have a note here saying James' new FTP username is a FTP user. So we have an FTP username that we can use to log in to the FTP server. If we go back to our nmap scan here, you can see FTP is running on port 21, although we don't have anonymous login in it, so we can't log in. So we have a username, but we don't have a password. So what we can do is that we can try to brute force for the password using Hydra. We can use Hydra to brute force for the password. And this is the syntax you can use. FTP. And then the IP address of your targets. So that's 5633. So Hydra-L -L is to specify the username, and the username we have here is FTP user. -capital P is to specify the word list, which is we're going to crack for the password. So I've specified the word list we want to use to crack for the password. This is FTP where we're brute forcing for. We specify FTP, then the IP address of of our targets. Okay, so we're back. We've gotten the FTP password, and we also have the FTP username. So for this answer, what is the name of the secret file? So the secret file is the backup.zip file we cracked. We discovered on this in this backups directory. So that's the name of the hidden file. So we've answered all these three questions. So the next step is the credentials. FTP username, that is this name we discovered from the file hidden in the backups.zip file. So that's the FTP username, FTP user. FTP password is what we just cracked, log forever. So we can try to log into the FTP server by using this syntax. FTP and the IP address of your targets. Sorry, mistake. It asks for a name and we give it FTP user. It asks for a password and we give it log forever. And we have access to the FTP server. So let's see the contents by typing ls. And you see files data 1 to 10. So we can decide to check each of these files to discover what is hidden in them. But I'll just go straight to the one that contains information, which is the data 4 file. So this is the file we're concerned with. If you check the others, you won't see any file in them. Nothing. There's nothing else in them. They are all empty. All these folders are empty. So it's only the data 4 that contains some valuable things. So we can decide to download these files. You can just use the get command to download these files here. Oh, I didn't see the into it first. Okay, so get ID underscore RSA. This is most probably a private key we can use to log in using SSH. So then you get the second file, not.txt. So we've downloaded those two files. We can exit from the FTP server and decide to look at them. Cat not.txt. So it says that James changed the FTP user password. Okay, so we already have that, so we don't need that. So let's see the ID RSA key. So it's a private key, like I said. So you can use this private key to log in as James. James. So it says, what is the SSH username? It is James, which is what we got from that text file. This text file. It says James changed the FTP user, so that's definitely the SSH username. So we're going to SSH as James using this private key. We may probably need to crack this private key first, but I may be wrong, chef. Let's first see. Okay, let me first do something. So first of all, it says what is the SSH password. So we definitely need to crack the SSH. And I'm going to use, first of all, use SSH to John to convert it to a format that John the Ripper can crack. Once I've converted it, you see if I cut this new file we have here, you see it is different from this ID_rc file. See, those two formats are different. So I can now use John the Ripper to crack it. Since I've cracked it before, all I will need to do is just --show, which is what lulov. So if you want to crack it, you can use this syntax. But since I cracked it before, John the Ripper would not crack it again because it has already cracked it before. So I use this --show to show the password I cracked previously. So that's the SSH password. So now we can use the SSH key to log in. Although before I log in using the SSH private key, I will have to change the permission of it to be to have secure permission so that SSH will allow me to use the file. So currently it has a read write, it has a read permissions on both the group and the other users. So we want a case where we just only that the owner has permissions to be able to do anything to this file. So we just use the command chmod 600 ID_rc. And if we check permissions once again, we'll see that no other person has permissions to this file, which means that it's secure. So we can now use SSH to log in. So this will be the syntax using the private key, the ID_rc key that we just got. Then the username is James. Then the IP address is the IP address of our target. Then since the SSH service is running on port 1337, we need to specify that also. If not, it won't work. So now we can SSH using lulov. So just enter the password twice. It's both the passphrase and the password, so they are the same thing. Yes, and now we have access as a James. So let's see what we have here in our current directory. Okay, that's 6450.txt. Okay, looks like we have a word list that we can probably use for brute forcing later. And we have another text file. Note for James. .txt. Okay, so let's just quickly get all these files here. For 50.txt. So we have those two files already. So let's see now. Let's go back to the machine. So like I said, the first one is a word list, obviously. So it's a word list of numbers. We're going to use this to crack a certain password or something. Then the next one is just note for James. So it says here, James, I found a new encryption image based name Mnemonic, which is the name of the room. I created the Condor password. Don't forget your chairs on Sunday. So this is a a clue we're going to use to solve the coming challenges now. So next step, our current directory, we're in a James home directory. So if we go back one directory and we do ls, okay, it doesn't allow us. So we can't go back in one directory. So they can just do ls/home directory. Okay, we can see multiple users here, but we're concerned with Condor since he was mentioned in this text file. So let's list Condor's. Yeah, we can list Condor's home directory, and we can see we have two supposed directories, but they are actually base 64 code that we can decode to get our answer. So let's see what this base 64 code means. You can decode it using this base 64. So once we decode this, we get a link. Let's view that link. And it's just a link to a picture. Just a link to a picture. So from the clue of the room and every other clue that you have seen here, you most likely will need to crack, we need to extract some information from this image. So they said something about using an encryption image-based name is Mnemonic. So we can decide to just Google that, in fact. Image-based Mnemonic or something. Let's try to Google that and see what it's about. So we are met with a GitHub repository, Mnemonic cryptography. Mnemonic cryptography. Before that, let's just download this image. Let's download this image. Get and the link. So you can read the description here. User is adding a picture. Anything can happen at Mnemonic. It takes the pixel values, enter the image, and calculates, creates, blah 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 blah. So it just seems like this is a tool that can be used for mnemonic image-based decryption. Right? So we can decide to download this this script, this mnemonic.python script. Since I've already downloaded it, let me just navigate to it in order to not waste your time. So okay, let me just go there. So cd mnemonic. So to download it, you just have to first of all follow these steps. You first have to make sure you have Python 3 installed. You copy this command, paste it here to install it. Then you use a pip3 install colored, install it also. Then the last one, you install OpenCV. All these are dependencies that you need to run this Python script. So you make sure you run all these commands first. And don't use sudo with this command. Maybe apart from this first one, but the rest don't use sudo. They might not work as intended. So once you've downloaded the script, okay, so once you've performed all this, you will now have to clone this repository. So you just type in git clone, right? Then git clone, then you can even just come to the URL, copy it, and then paste, right? .git, or you can just come here and copy this instead. I think this is more. Yeah, so you just copy it. You come to this code section, make sure you're on HTTPS, and you copy this. So git clone and the link. That's how you clone this repository. Once you clone it and you do your ls, you will see a folder. So you have to cd into that folder, like I just did here. You have to cd into that folder. Then here you have the Python script that you also have here. So is this Python script we're going to use to decrypt the image we just downloaded, which is this image. So I'll walk you through, but before that, there's just a small correction you'll have to make to this code for it to work. So I had some issues when I was doing mine, but you will have to make sure. So you first come to this pull requests, right? First come to this pull requests, then you come to this value error fixed issue. You come down here, then okay. Hmm. Okay, so you come to the pull requests, you go to the value error, whatever, then you come to commits and you click on the second commit, which is this update mnemonic. Click on the second one, right? So we're just coming here to see the code. There's a line that they added to the code to make it work properly, which is this line on 132. So you're going to edit the same thing in your own script, because it's not, when you git clone it, you're not going to update, it's not going to be updated, an updated version. So you have to update it manually for the script to work. So you have to come down to line 130. So you can just do control slash if you are using if you are using nano, just do control slash and type 132 to take you to the line you need to be. So you need to make sure your code is the same as this. You have to impute this line of code. This is dot set integer max string digits to 6,000. You have to copy it and place it in between the f dot right and the for statement, and the for loop rather, sorry, and the for loop. You have to place it in between, and you make sure your indentation is correct. If you're familiar with programming, you need to make sure that it's on the same perfectly placed line. If you mess up the indentation, your script will not work properly. So once you have done that, you can continue with running the script. So now I'm going to run the script now using Python 3 and the script name, which is mnemonic.py. Press enter. It will ask you for the path to the image that you want to decode. So you just specify the full path to your image. Specify the full path. You need to specify the full path. I think mine is forgotten. Okay. So Tryhackme, then Mnemonic 1. Hope I'm not typing nonsense. Yes. Then okay. Then the name of the image. The name of the image, which is max.jpg4. So specify the path. Okay, I was not correct. Okay, I did a mistake. I made a mistake. Oh my god. Let me just specify the full path. Home, username, Tryhackme, Mnemonic, max as default. Yes, so it has, you specify the full path to your image like that. Then the next step is you will have to decide whether you want to encrypt or decrypt. So we want to decrypt the image in this case now. So you're going to select two. It asks you one for the encrypt, two for decrypt. You want to decrypt. Then it will specify, you will need to specify the file path. So the file path in this case is word list we found before, which was those list of type of numbers or whatever, which was in 645 something. Yeah. So this is the file we're going to specify, the full path to this file. And you see these numbers is like a word list this tool is going to use to decrypt this image. So we need to specify the full path to this file, which is home x Tryhackme Mnemonic 1 and 6450 dot dot txt. Press enter, and we have a code or password or whatever. So this is what we got, and that is Condor's password. So that's Condor's password that we just got. All that process was just to get Condor's password. So you place your answer in here. So we can quit by just pressing enter. You can press enter to quit since you're done. So next step is to log in as Condor using SSH. So Condor, specify the IP address, which is 1563. Then specify your ports. Don't forget to specify your ports. You know, we're not running SSH on port 22. We're running it on port 1337. So you need to specify it. If not, SSH will just default to port 22 because that is the default port for SSH. So you specify your SSH ports. The username is Condor, the IP address of your target, and then press enter. Then they ask you for the password. We already have that. Paste your password. And we have logged in as Condor. So that is all for the credentials aspect and task 3. The last task to get the first flag, all you have to do is just ls. Okay, let's go back one step. We're in home directory now. Okay, what am I doing? Sorry. Cd into Condor, just ls. We still have those same base64 code from earlier, but we only decoded the first one. We didn't decode the second one. So you're just going to copy from this first aperture to the last one. You see where I copied to? That's exactly where you need to copy. So we're going to decode it using the same format we used before. There's 64-E, and we have the first flag here. So it's in base64 code. Mostly how to identify base64 code is that one of the easiest ways, at least, but it's not always accurate, is if it ends with a equal to sign, it's base64. If you see a lot of capital letters, it's more likely base64. So like once you do CTFs and you get used to them, you will easily be able to identify which one is base64, which one isn't base64. You understand? So that's that for the first flag. For the next flag, will involve privilege escalation. So let's just check our sudo permissions. Which files this user Condor can run using sudo. That's just what we want to check for now. What's the password again? So it says here, all users can run all commands using sudo, or rather, all users can run the Python 3 binary using sudo on this exact Python script, nothing else. So let's first take a look at this script, because that's the main thing here. So let's use none. Now I'm just going to go straight to the point. This is a Python script that just basically okay, let's even run it so that you can see what it does. Let's run it. Let's run the script sudo, and you have to paste everything as it is here. So you can see it's using the Python 3 binary, so you have to paste it exactly how it is. Just copy this whole line like this and paste it here. You need to make sure you're using the exact binaries. Oh, okay, so the script is running already. So you can see it just lists a couple things that we should input: network config, show IF config, show IP routes, and whatever. We can choose any of these options. Do not choose this root shell spawn. It's just going to close the entire SSH session. So now that I've shown you what the script does, let me just go back to the script to explain. So if you're familiar with Python, this is just an easy, very easy script, and you will easily see the answer here. So if you scroll up to the 0 points where it asks you, do you want to quit? Right? If you look at this other syntax, you can see it accepts user input. This one accepts user input, for example. Sorry, this one displays it displays the output of this command, this cat OS release is displaying the output. This one displays output also, right? But and if you just notice, all of them displays output, but for this specific one of 0, the one with option 0, the one that asks you if you want to quit, it accepts user inputs. It's not it will display output and also accept user input. As you can see, this input here, it will just display running, this string running, but it's not actually doing anything because it's waiting for you to input something. That's just what this line means. It's accepting user input from you. So since that is the case, we can just like spawn a bash shell, for example, by typing in /bin/bash if we choose the option 0. So let's do exactly that. Run the script. When it asks us for what option we want, we'll just choose the one with the exit, which is 0. Select 0. Then you can see it says, okay, sorry, that's where we're supposed to enter the command we want to enter. So it says, are you sure you want to quit, yes or no? So this is where you can just type /bin/bash.
Just invoking Python 3. Funky addition. Right there. Nice. Network connection normally says it didn't use. However, it will. Remember, we're running this file with root privileges. So this command that is being sent to the shell.
Okay, so still taking a look at the file. So where is it again? So it says here, okay, so it says here, if so you can see all these other options. You see option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, option 0, option 5. So if we run the script as a sudo, let me just, if we run the script, it shows those various options. So if you choose number 2, for example, it just runs the ifconfig command. It just displays all this stuff here, your IP address information and your connection information. So each of those selections, you just run a certain command. Let me go back to the script to show you. So you can see one, for example, one, it displays the output of this IP A, right? It just displays the output to your terminal. This option 2 displays the output of ifconfig to your terminal. This option 3 displays the output of IP route shield to your terminal. So they are all Linux commands. They are all terminal commands that will just display to your terminal. That's just all what these are doing. For this 4 also, this one will just cut this file out to your terminal. But you can see this 0 is different from the rest. it says here if x equals to dot, that's if your input x is equals to the input you're going to enter when it asks you this, are you sure you want to quit? So if your input is equal to dot, then it will carry out this operation. But if it's equal to yes or y, it will exit. So now if you put the reply of dots, right, it will collect input from you, but it will show that it's running. It's just this is just a string. It's not actually running anything, but it will just display a string running. That is if you enter the input of dots. You understand? So let's try to run this script again and input dots when it asks, it prompts for an input. We first run the script, then we select 0. Then it says, are you sure you want to quit? Yes. It doesn't even say yes or no, it just says yes. So if we enter yes, it will exit. Let me show you. If we enter yes, it will exit. Let's run it again. Now we're going to enter dot rather than entering yes. So 0. So now if we enter dot, it shows running. But like I said, it's accepting user input. This running is just a string. It's just a string to like deceive you. But it can accept user input. So since it accepts user input and it accepts Linux terminal commands, we can just spawn a bash shell using bin bash. And since it is root that owns this file, this script, since this script is running as root and it is root that owns it, we are supposed to get a root shell. Once we run this bin bash to spawn a shell, as you can see, we have root access. That's just the basic privilege escalation for this room. So the flag is obviously going to be in the root directory, and you can see, let's what this f2 flag.txt. Okay, it's nonsense. So just cut your flag and okay, so that's not all actually. That's not all. So it says congratulations, you made it hash me. So I was actually stuck at this point, I won't lie, until I had to check the hints, and it says thm md5. That means they want us to hash this string to md5 format. So we can just use a md5 sum command to hash it, to give us the md5 hash. And wait, sorry, syntax, I've forgotten the syntax. Don't want to open. Okay, so this is the syntax that I used to hash it. So this syntax, I keep forgetting it, I don't know why. So echo -n, then the string you want to hash, then the pipe symbol, and then md5. Press enter, it gives you the md5 hash of that text. So you just replace this hash with this congratulations, you made it, you hashed me, or whatever. And that is your actual flag. So if you just submitted this flag like this, you wouldn't get it. So yeah, so that's that for this room. Thank you very much.